Hello everybody, it's me, Tracy again, here with another DIY. I wonder if y'all know that Dollar Tree foam board can bend into a shape of a letter, so you can make this light box. Wouldn't y'all like to know how to make this letter B or any other letter for somebody's birthday? It's a nice piece for conversation. It lights up. You can turn the lights out. And it's very nice. Look at that. So this is what the DIY is for today going to be. These are tea lights inside of here. Little tea lights. I put some holes in there. And you can turn them off and turn them on. They don't last forever, but with the hole, it will allow you to put new ones in there when needed to keep the box lit up. So, you ready to learn how to bend some Dollar Tree foam board? All right. The first thing we're going to need to do is cut out, get you a letter B. And this letter B right here that I cut out is 15 inches by, I think the biggest one down here is 10. So 15 by 10 or 15 by 11. So this B is 15 by 11. 15 by 11. It's my size. I printed it out and then I traced it. So this is our platform for our lights. I have these little ice round things you get from the Dollar Tree. We're going to use this as weights to hold it up when the time comes for us to put the lights in. The weights will hold it up for us and make it stand up. But you can find other ways to make it stand up. I just like to put mine down here. It makes it heavy enough to put up. When I'm finished, I'll show you in the beginning and in the end what I did for Halloween. So I'm gonna start by cutting out like 5 strips of foam board, long strips, just to make sure we have enough. And each strip needs to be 2 inches. 2 inches all the way from top to bottom. Make sure it's 2 inches. You can make it thicker if you want the space around it. I prefer 2 inches. And I'm going to put this on top of another board so I won't cut my table all up. So I'm just going to find something sharp. Get something sharp, one of these Sharpies. Hold it. And try not to cut the board that's next to it, because you want to try to keep it even as possible, which mine's not coming out right too. But we're going to keep it even as possible by lining it up next to the board. And if that don't work for you, you can use a long ruler to cut it out if your hand's not that steady. It's a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm thinking 3 might work, but I'm going to do 4 because I don't want to go back and cut it again. So we're going to measure again, 2. We're going to measure 2 all the way up to the top. 2, 2, 2. And then we're going to start cutting. And for this project, you need hot glue gun. So make sure it's 2 all the way up, even up here. You have to push it a little bit. Make it 2. This time, for those that don't have steady hands, we're going to use an ink pen. After we use the ink pen, we move the board out the way, and we're going to use our metal. I have a metal ruler, which might be better because it ain't going to move and it won't rip the other board up. So I'm just gonna go down next to this here metal. Don't get crazy, y'all, and cut yourself. Don't want none of my crafters in here bleeding because I done told y'all to use some dang on sharp razor. You know what I mean? So I'm cutting out the strips. That's what I'm doing. Cutting out the strips. After we cut out the strips, we're gonna start shaping our B to get it ready to put the lights in. Alright, so 3 is cut out. Now we're ready for that. Let's start the next section. This part right here. Oh, my button not working. Oh, I'll be back. Alright, the next part, what we're going to do now, we're going to take our ruler and we're going to make this dollar foam board bend. So I just want you to do little small slits, but not too small. See how much space it is between this and the ruler? It's about a 1/2 inch. So unless you want to measure every piece, you don't have to. Just take and do 1/2 inch slits. And what I mean by slits, I don't mean stab the board all the way across till you get this. All you want to do is break the top layer. Break the top layer. And I want you to do that all the way down this board. Break the top layer. And the reason why I want you to break the top layer, because that's how we're going to make it round. So I'm going to do a few slits. And then I want y'all to break them. Make sure they stay a little even. But only break the top layer. This board is so white, it's hard for me to see it. But we're going to break only the top layer. Because if you go all the way through the whole thing, what you're doing is going to cut it all the way in half. And we don't want that. We want you to, once you get it like this, we're going to pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Look at that, y'all. I just created a whole half circle. So this is the idea of what we're going to do. We're going to do this to all the boards. All the boards. Y'all following me? Do this all to all the boards. Make it a nice slit. Don't cut it all the way through, because we don't want to damage the whole thing. Keep making all your slits all the way through. Nice and easy. Don't cut through the bottom of the paper, please. Just do a little slit, 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 slit. You don't even have to measure it. You don't have to go trying to measure it every second, because it's going to take a long time. Now, for your birthday parties and things, this is going to be real cute when you go to the store and have them print out a B, a size 3 feet tall, out the piece of paper. And once you have it printed out 3 feet tall, because I don't have a printer that do 3 feet tall. So we're going to print it out 3 feet tall. Then you're going to come back and you're going to cut that paper out. Or if you only want it 2 feet tall, you're going to come back and cut that paper out. Whatever size you want, we're going to cut that paper out. And we're going to put it on top of the foam board, because I think the foam board is about 3 feet. So if you go more than 3 feet, then you're on your own. But that's most I can do. So I'm going to continue to finish cutting this board, all my strips up. And you see how it's starting to look. We have to be finished. We're going to pop them. And see, it's still got paper back here. And this is my trick of what I've been doing to make my roundness for cakes and everything else I made. I cut my board, and then I can make a bendable board. I can make a whole circle. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right. So I'm near the end. Doing one at a time was too slow. So I got 3 going on at a time. Making sure my line stays straight, but only cutting the top layer of the paper off. And not going all the way through, because we're not slicing. We're only taking the top part off. That's all we're doing. We're going to take a little bit off the top. And then we're going to start the next one. And I'm almost finished there. And then we're going to start firing up our glue guns, y'all. And get them ready. As soon as I finish these last few cuts. Do y'all get what I'm saying? I'm sure y'all all following me. Only cut the top layer off. Because if you cut the top layer off, then you don't have to worry about not getting it right. Alright, so after you cut out those strips to make sure you have enough, we're going to cut out 2 straight strips. Don't make no cuts in these ones. And those ones we leave for our straight edges. So we're going to use these for our straight edges. My hot glue is now up and ready. Let me check it. Okay, it's getting there. So here is the B. So what we're going to do is have our pins ready. And we're going to measure out what we need for our B. From the top of this B all the way down to the bottom of this B. And then we're going to mark it and then we're going to cut it off. Okay? So measure it from here. Put it on top, measure it. Take the ink pen and cut it off. Okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to slice that piece off because we want the whole thing sliced in half. Look like my razor's getting dull already, but it's okay. So we're going to apply the first part of this on here. The first part. We're going to apply the first part. I'm going to put this on the outside. So we're going to place a strip of glue down. I like to put it on here. Makes it not so messy. So I'm going to put a nice strip down here. I'm going to put it down here. And this hot glue gun come from Amazon, if y'all want to know. So I'm just going to put this along the edge because that's our base. We got to make sure it's even, make sure it's straight. Y'all can see what I'm doing. I just stuck this down here and I'm going to hold it for a second until it dry. Because we want to make sure we're creating the letter B for a birthday. So I like to go over and add some in here too, just to make it support. And if you put it real close to the edge, then people won't notice it too much. Like, won't notice like you got glue on your inside there. And then they got colorful foam boards now, so you can do these in all different colors. You probably can paint them. So we're gonna let that dry for a second. And now we're going to start using the foam boards. Some of these boards here. So what I'm going to do, we're going to start here and we're going to glue it. We're going to glue this to here. So we're going to go only up to this point. Up to this point where the B starts, we're going to add the glue. Add some glue around that little part of that edging down there. Because that's where the thing gonna stand on. Put the base on. And then up along here. To make sure it sticks. And then we're gonna take this and we're gonna stick it on here. And we're gonna hold it. You see, we already started creating our thing. And if it's glue oozing out, no problem. Just take something and wipe it off because you don't want it messy. Okay, now we're gonna go around it. We're gonna add some more hot glue. We're gonna add some more in there, and then we're gonna start creating our shape by adding a little layer of glue around the edge. Don't go crazy with it, just add a little bit. all the way up till you get to this here crease of the B. So we're going to add that there. Now, as you can see, this is not a little 5 minute. It's not going to take 5 minutes to make. But I just wanted y'all to show y'all this because people asked about it. If you cut the slits in the foam board, you will now be able to create this circle by holding it, your foam board, and create this circle. See it? You're going to create the circle. And when you get to the slit, we're going to cut that piece off because I think it's right here. So just take it as a little slit and cut that little piece off, and that's the start of the first circle. Just hold it in place, make sure it's even all the way around. The whole circle is even. See it so far? I created the bottom part already of the B. This part is now flat. I'm going to just take a little hot glue and go all in the inside right here. Just to make sure I put a nice little layer in there to keep it from falling apart. Now, this don't last forever. It fell apart in the basement because stuff fell on it. But if nobody's messing with it, it shouldn't have no reason not to last. So, we're going to go to the other side now. Make sure the part that is going to bend, make sure you pop all your pieces. Make sure, wait a minute, let the camera come down, so. Make sure you pop all these pieces that will allow it to bend, but don't break it and don't make the other part of the paper on the other side come loose. You're just going to pop it, and that's how you create that bend. So now that you know you can bend foam board, you can do a lot of things with this. Just like that, the cake I showed you, it has foam board inside of there. So we're going to start here, add some glue. I'm going to add it around the edge here. You know, try not to be messy with it. Sometimes our hands is not as steady. But I'm only going to do the first part just to get it started. And then come back to the second part. So the bendable part, the part that you cut needs to be on the outside. And so we're going to put that here. And we're going to hold it. And we're going to make sure it's on the edge. Be patient with this hot glue. Especially if you got one that gets really, really hot. Find something to wipe it off besides your hand. Because it's going to hurt. So now that this is closed in, I'm going to now start adding some glue around here to finish my B. But I'm not going to cut that off because I don't know what size I need. But I'm going to make sure I get close enough to the edge. Close enough to take that edge. Add that glue around the edge. Just around the edge. Nobody gonna really see in there. You can paint it. What you can do, you can always put some patterns on the box, on the Dollar Tree foam board first. You can put pictures on it. You can even, as far as going to Mod Podge, a bunch of pictures all over it to make one big giant B with a whole bunch of pictures in it. Probably be nice too, because when it's light up, it's still gonna have the B, and with the B with the people pictures in it, might even be nicer. How about that? And I didn't even do that one. See, and it just popped in my head. It just happens that way. So we're gonna, since the end of it is here, we're gonna cut this piece off, and that's gonna complete our circle. So we're gonna add some in here. Did I add some? No, we gotta add some in this one, because we're gonna make sure it don't fall apart, because it's very fragile. This is nothing but a Dollar Tree foam board. I'll just put some in the creases. Not that serious. Just put some in there. And then we're going to put some here because we want to make sure this stay closed. So let's stick some in there and hold it together. Oh, that joint hot. You see that? And then it finally reaches hot peak. Heating up. Ah! Oh, snap. What the hell? Yeah, it got me again. Hot ass glue. Alright, well, I put some in the middle. And then I'm going to try to squeeze some in here. Squeeze a little bit in the back. And try to get this piece to close itself up. Like that. See it? We're going to hold that for a few minutes. For a few seconds. While I get some of this glue off my hand. So, alright. Sometimes it takes a second. My glue gun is really hot, hot, hot. And when I check Amazon, so I can put the link on the description for y'all so y'all can get this nice glue gun, it's unavailable. So, normally when you post something and people want it, it's going to go fast. So the lamps went from $12 that I did in the other video to now $15. Anytime they know people is buying up something, they're gonna raise the prices. One day somebody will find those Dollar Tree lamps, and then I can get some and be able to do some more. But right now, it's just not gonna happen. No more lamps for me. I only got 3. And the people know they cost $1, so they're not going to want to pay for so much for it, even though we put our time and effort into it. So I'm going to hold this here because it's not really sticking like it's supposed to. So I'm going to hold it. And I know the video might be long, but there's not no 5-minute videos, 5-minute DIYs. If you want something, it's going to take time. So basically, it's only been 11 minutes. Oh, so we good. It's just taking this time sticking, but it's getting there. I'll hold it. Okay, so that look like it's stuck. Nope, it don't look like it's stuck. So since it won't stick, I'm going to get a piece of tape. Put it in there or get something to try to hold it together. Just for a few seconds. So that's where my little Dollar Tree pink little clip's gonna come in. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing to hold it. There you go. Hey, Dollar Tree. All right. Let's go to this part. We're gonna pop all our pieces. Make sure all our pieces is popped. So it's time for us to complete our B and add the tea lights. And then turn this light on. Fire this sucker up. But don't fire it up. No, just OMG. So I'm gonna start. Let me just measure and see how much space I need first so I can just cut some of it off. So I'm just gonna rip some of it off because we don't need all of it. It's just in my way. So now I'm gonna put some glue on it and get that ready to put on there, and that's going to create that hole in the middle because it ain't a B without the hole in the middle because we need it. Oh, I hope this thing, woo! This thing going to drip down through the hole into my leg. Hey, please, y'all, these hot guns is a killer. One little drip, you'll be in here screaming. Look at that. It's almost gonna melt me to the skin. I guess people ain't doing hot candles no more either. That shit's probably a killer. It's a fire these days. So we're just creating that circle. Try to hold it a little bit as it dries. And you see what I just did? I just created a circle, and then I'm gonna put this one across, and then I'm gonna cut this piece off because we don't need that. Just cut it off. So now that that's cut off and everything looking kind of even, you gotta make sure by holding Holding it, holding it, holding it. Alright, it's looking pretty good. Probably had to cut a little bit here off to make sure, you know, that you don't really want nothing sticking out. These little Zactonites or whatever they call this thing don't last long. But all right, that one is done. I'm doing this for the camera, so I can't. It's not gonna get my 100% like I want, because my stuff had to be on point, 100% always. So I'm gonna hold that and let that glue dry a little bit, and try not to burn my damn hand again. OMG. Alright, hold that for a second, and then we're gonna do the next one. And then this B is practically almost finished. And guess what I did, y'all? I made a mistake because I put the inside, the yellow pieces from some old board, but y'all get it. I guess it's actually supposed to be this way, but don't make a mistake like me and put your B upside down. So now my big part is gonna be on top, but don't make my mistake. Y'all be alright. Just don't make it upside down. I'm trying to get this together for y'all, and here I'm making mistakes, but I ain't perfect. So nothing wrong with my B. It still look good. It's just a little bit bigger than the bottom. Who cares? It's not being sold to nobody. It's for this DIY. So watch out what you're doing. Pay attention. Don't put your B upside down. Nobody will know unless you tell them though. Because if I was to sell this, nobody would know. I will spray paint all this inside. Or nice little spray paint, real good. Nice. Maybe throw some glitter inside there on it. You know, throw a little glitter on it. And call it a day. I don't even know if I'm not even gonna spray paint or decorate the B when I finish. Y'all do your own thing when y'all done. But I'm not gonna get into the whole thing of spray painting and decorating, because it's not for somebody, it's for y'all DIY. I have to make a number 2 for my goddaughter's birthday, where I will be doing a tutorial on a 3 foot number 2 for my goddaughter's birthday. I'm gonna do that one because I want her, when she take her pictures, she'll be next to the number 2. She'll be next to the number 2. Now we're gonna put that thing there. There we go. So I wanna, for her birthday, I'm gonna make the giant 2 for God Baby, for my God Baby Mackenzie. I'm doing her baby shower for her, and it's a Mickey Mouse theme. So her number 2 is gonna have like all Mickey Mouse. It's gonna be decorated. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. It will. Let's fix some glue in here on the edges. Y'all be very gentle when it comes to this here thing y'all making. Just let it be, because it's really sensitive. I'm just wiping off some of this glue because I don't want to burn my hand again. I finish burning my hand and be messed up. All right, it takes a second sometimes for the hot glue to get done, but it's okay. Be patient and wait that whole second. All right, well, this is not going to be perfect. But if I had to sell it, it's going to be perfect, but y'all get the concept of what I'm doing. So, as y'all see, my bee is now complete. So, the next step, because y'all going to need these tea lights. And if you're going to use these tea lights, order these tea lights from Amazon. I'm going to link the link down the bottom. You don't need that many. I think you maybe need 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. But what we're going to do is we're going to take these things and put them where we want them, because we have to make some holes. So we're going to put them here in the space where you think they need to be. Where you think they need to be. I think they need to be here. Maybe one here. I think that might look nice. So I'm going to do one and trace it, which is not that. Might be. Trying to figure out how to get the circle. I mean, I guess y'all could make the circle first and then do it, but I'm just gonna go another way. So I've decided not to make it so complicated. Turn this joint upside down, girl. My brain needs to start thinking, but I ain't have a whole lot of sleep, so I might be tired. So let's draw these circles on the outside. Let's not stress ourselves out too much. Put the circles on the outside. Take your little knifey thing. Cut out them circles. Make sure you don't put it too close to the edging, because then the circles will interfere with the things inside. So just, you know, nicely go around, make circles. Take them off. They don't have to be perfectly here in the back, because the whole idea is when this bee is done, you want to decorate it. You want to spray paint it. You want to do what you got to do first beforehand. And then we're gonna cut them out. Take your time. Just take your time and cut the circles out, because we're going to try to make sure they fit in there, because a lot of times you cut these circles. Last time I did this, you cut the circles, they don't cut out. So let me see if I can push it in there. So see how I did this? My circle is too big, so don't cut exactly on the circle. Cut around the circle. Now I add a little bit of hot glue in there, just a teeny bit, to keep it from popping out. And when you go to turn them on, be careful turning them on, because you don't want the things to fall out. So I'm just gonna hold it, see if this glue will dry. Maybe it'll keep it in place. The next one will be better. Make the hole a little bit smaller, because you want to kind of force it in. This one didn't force it in, because you got a battery thing down here. Like, you can actually change the battery. So I'm gonna hold it and see if it'll keep it in place. Hold this plastic. So as you know, as you see, I made the hole too big. It's gonna take some practice. Some of y'all crafters are very good. It shouldn't even take too much practice. Cut inside the blue and not on the blue. My glue gun must be really, really hot for this thing to take so long to dry. Okay, I guess it's... All right, let me try this again, because I'm going to make my mistakes on here. Because y'all going to make mistakes too, so y'all might as well know what the mistakes is going to be already. Tell you now. Y'all just might as well see what I'm doing, see what my mistakes is, and just don't make them yourself. But no craft can say they perfect and didn't make no mistake. So this time I'm gonna go inside the circle, just inside of it. Cut this hole inside, not on the line. Stay off the line, because you want it to snug and not basically falling. So look at that. Hey, I did it right the second time. See? That's why I'm the bomb. Bomb diggity. Only to myself. But it's alright. Let me cut all of them. Y'all get y'all stuff together, and while I'm doing mine, y'all go get some foam boards. Y'all, they only cost $1. Get these foam boards, and let's make these light boxes. Gonna punch it in. Alright. It's okay for it to be, but that's better when it's snug, when you cut it inside the blue line. I got 2 more to go. I'm going to fire this thing up, turn these lights on, and then that's your light box. So my group is crafting together as one, the number 1. So you make sure you type in crafting together with the number 1, not the letter I or whatever, O-N-E, and the number 1. Crafting together as one. That's the name of my new group I just put on Facebook. If y'all see it on your Facebook, click on it. Become a member of my group. Make your DIY, share your pictures. It's a open group. You can share your links to your business. So if you have your own business, or if you have business cards or a link to it, just you can share your things on my group, because some groups doesn't allow you to do all that. And you know, it's people want to buy your stuff. That's how I look at it. If I'm making stuff, I want people to buy my stuff. And if you sign up for a lot of groups, and a lot of groups don't let you post your stuff, then it's kind of hard to get your stuff out there. But Charmaine Galloway, y'all all know Charmaine. A lot of y'all on her group and on her YouTube page. She's the best. Charmaine, you the best. When she told everybody to come to my page to check me out when it came to the Diva Reefs, I'm gonna give Charmaine her shout out. Charmaine, make some of these letters, and her groups are, she has a lot of groups, and her groups are very organized. So I decided to leave my group open, let anybody do it. This is my first time doing this group, so I figure, why not? Let's see what happened. All right, y'all ready? Let's turn the lights on. Turn the light on. Turn the light on. Click them buttons. Click them buttons. Sign up for my group. Crafting together as one. Post your links. These things are all lit now. Let's make sure they're all lit. Oh, come on, why you not lit? No, you broken. This one must not be working. See, you acting up. So we're gonna put this one in there. So they all lit. And what I like to do is use these little glass pellets. They come in the floral section of the Dollar Tree. I'm just gonna put some down here along the edge to try to use it as stabilizers. That's all. It's not to make it fancy. It's to stabilize it. Or you can take a piece of board, or maybe one of those towels that you put the names on it from Home Depot or Lowe's. You can stick probably one under there, a nice clear one. It's basically just to make it stable so it won't fall over. And I think these things work pretty well. So just pop a few in there. Let me go turn the light out for y'all. Hope this DIY wasn't too long, but like I said, no DIY is short, because it's going to be mistakes, so they're not long. So let me turn these lights out. Turn the lights out. Let me turn my light off, my ring light. All right. So here is the finished product. Here is the bee. When you do your parties at nighttime, you got the parties all set, you got the mood set, make some of these night lights. These are, you can consider them night lights, but they are letters. I created a bee with tea lights. If you order your tea lights, it's going to be on my link. The tea lights will come in like a 50 in a box, because you need quite a few if you're making a lot of names. It was very easy. So now y'all know how to bend that styrofoam board. Bend that board by putting the slits in, but don't cut it all the way through. Put your holes in the back push your don't make your holes too big by cutting on the line itself. Cut inside because the rest of them work perfectly. So this is what I made with this bee, and I'm gonna show you the bee that I did make for Halloween and the whole Halloween setup for my grandchildren that I did. And I made the word boo, and it was orange and black. So I did paint them and get them situated. So I hope y'all enjoyed this DIY. Sign up for my Facebook group. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to say that every time. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Facebook Messenger, or you can hit me up for your questions. I can try to get to them. Just know I work at nighttime and sleep all day. So you got up until 9 o'clock in the morning for me to look over your stuff and try to answer your questions. Or you can hit me up at nighttime while I'm at work at after 9 o'clock. From 9 to about 11, and maybe from 1 to 4, and then it's time for me to go home, and then we start again answering questions at 8 o'clock, from 8 to 9, and then it's time for me to go to bed. So there's your letter B. You can make it 3 feet tall. This whole styrofoam, if you want to do a T for somebody's birthday, you want to do a number 3, go to the store and have them print out a whole 3-foot number B for you, and then cut it out and make yourself a light box. Thanks for watching my video.